I assume that you're watching this video because you wanted to learn how to draw, or you're interested in drawing and you want to draw better. So I am going to tell you four little tips on how to start to learn how to draw. And also, I will also talk about two important aspects of drawing. So, drawing, there's two aspects to it. One is observation. When you look at stuff, you're not just not paying attention. When you look at stuff, you pay attention. You observe the size, the shape, the texture, the color, the feel of the thing that you're looking at. You observe the thing that you want to draw. The second aspect is putting it on paper. Putting on paper, it takes a lot of skills as well. Like observation is skills when you're drawing. And putting your stuff, the things you observe on paper, is also a skill. How you draw the lines, how you shade, how you draw the texture, how you observe and put down the things you see on paper in good proportions. In when you draw things, how when you more advanced, like you put your own personality into your drawing on top of the art fundamentals, which is to draw things accurately in their shape, form, texture, colors, and everything. And on top of that, when you are becoming more advanced, you put your personality into it. So the two aspects, which is observe and put things down on paper. So that's the two aspects of drawing. And now I'm gonna give you four little tips on how to draw better to get started. First of all, is to get a sketchbook. Um, there's many good benefits to getting a sketchbook. First, you are able to see your progress. When you draw things in the beginning and when you after you draw like 10 pictures and you look back, you flip your pages, you can see your progress. When you draw on paper, you today you keep this one here, tomorrow you keep that one there, and your pictures are all over the place. You lost them, some people throw it out, and you don't know how much you've improved. But when you draw on a sketchbook, you're able to see your progress. um and when sometimes you have really good ideas, you want to sit down and put your ideas down, and next time when you forgot your ideas, when you look back, you're like, oh, back then I had this really good idea. I don't know that I drew this really good thing here. So there's many benefits to it, like I mentioned. So that's the first tip. Second one is to invest drawing period longer than 1 hour. So you don't have to do this every day. Like actually don't do this every day. It's gonna drive you nuts if you just started drawing. Maybe once in a week or 2 weeks, have a time when you sit down in somewhere nice and makes you feel good and relaxed, and get your sketchbook and a eraser and a pencil, and then with your reference picture, it can be a photograph, your favorite artist's drawing, or like a very good anime drawing that you like, or like a good video game a character that you like, or a landscape, or something from a magazine that you really like, you think is very beautiful, or something you see online, or good Instagram photo that you printed out. Anything like something that you want to reference, and you quiet calm down your heart, and you concentrate and observe the reference picture and try to invest your time into drawing it. The more you draw it, the more you observe, you get more like into this picture that you're drawing. You start noticing the little things on the picture, on your reference picture, that you don't notice when you just take a glance. And you draw it for 1 hour, or a little longer will be better, but no longer than 2 hours when you just started. Around 1 hour or a little longer. or like 2 hours if you are able to concentrate for 2 hours. But a lot of times, a lot of beginners can't. But I started training when I was very little, so as long as I can remember, I can do it for 2 hours. But you don't have to. 1 hour is good enough. So just concentrate and quiet down your heart and study your reference picture and just draw and like be in your drawing, like, yeah. And then how when and you don't have to finish a piece in just 1 hour, because you're drawing it in a sketchbook, you can easily find it again, so you can continue next time when you find a time to draw again. And when you want to stop this piece is when you feel like you've pushed yourself to the farthest, or you've already lost interest in this picture. Even if you cool down your heart, you still cannot be able to be interested in drawing this piece anymore. You've drawn everything you've drawn. It can't be better with your current abilities. Then that's when you stop. But don't continue to draw when you start already hate this picture, even if you feel like it's not complete. Yeah, you wanted to try to enjoy when you draw this thing. You feel like I still wanted to continue to better this thing, to better this thing that I'm drawing. That's when you continue to draw until you cannot continue anymore. And that's when next time when you start a new piece. So that's my second advice. The third advice is that when you are looking at your reference drawing, when you're drawing, you need to observe. You need to observe. For example, if there's two objects in the picture that you're drawing, you need to observe their difference. The top of this object starts at around two-thirds half of the other object, or like it's below the other object. You need to observe, and the color difference, the size difference, um like where it's placed on the picture. Like when you are drawing a landscape, where on the tree is this um on this picture, or when you're drawing a person. Like sometimes when you just started, you discover that when you're drawing a hand, for some reason it just looked like five sausages on a cube. Or when you are drawing a person, it just cannot look anything other than a stick figure. That is because you haven't looked at your reference picture, observe it enough. Um, comparison is a big thing. When you observe, you need to compare where the eyes is on a face, or where the mouth is on the face, or where the hand is located on the body. Like, is it a little below the, like, is it held like this? Then you can see that when you extend it, it's in the middle of my face. You see the top of the hand. And then when you are like this, and then you see that the where the hand is, you extend it, it's like a little below the shoulder. Like, you need to observe and compare this thing with the things around them to see where they are. And then this way, like, you can better translate what you see onto the paper. So that's my third advice. And the fourth tip is that doodle. It's the fun part. It's not the 1 hour drawing session. The 1 hour drawing session, you just need to do it once a week or once in 2 weeks. But sometimes on a random day when you happen to have a piece of paper in front of you, and you just happen to have a pen on your hand, or a pencil, or a pencil crayon, or something, colored pencil, anything, crayon, you just happen to have it in your hand, or it's around you, you're like, I just want to pick it up and doodle something. Be courageous and put what you are thinking onto the paper. Sometimes you're just not courageous enough. You feel like, what if I draw a bad picture? Well, it's doodling time. You don't need to draw, like perform really good for someone to see. And there is no rubric to say if a doodle is good or bad. You just put what you want to put down on the paper. Just be courageous and be creative. Just like whatever you're thinking, you want to draw a person, you want to just doodle some lines or a cute animal or like some shapes that you are just thinking in your mind. You can just put it down on paper, and there is no rules when you doodle. You just like let everything out. So that is to a good thing to expand your imagination. So these are my 4 tips. So get a sketchbook, have a 1 hour drawing period every 1 to 2 weeks. Observe your reference picture, and then when you're not doing the studying drawing, you're just doodling. Be courageous and draw whatever is on your mind. Just enjoy. And even if you are doing drawing studies, try to have fun when you're observing. Cool down your heart. It's almost like meditation or like doing yoga or something like that. It's something that you to quiet down your heart. So yeah, have fun. And also I do these art lessons. You don't have to look at my art lessons. There's other online art lessons, but mine is really well thought of, and you can do mine if you can take a look and see if it's something that you're interested in drawing. If the object that I draw just happen to be something that you think looks nice and you want to draw it, then you can um look at my art lesson and follow them. So yeah, have fun.